Joining us from Denver's men's basketball program, head coach Jeff Woolbrun, student athletes Tommy Bruner and Jackson Brenchley. Normal format will be an opening statement from coach. We'll take questions from the student athletes, dismiss the student athletes, then come back to coach for questions. We do have a microphone floating around somewhere. Please wait for that. State your name and affiliation prior to asking your question. Go ahead with your opening statement, coach.
Yep. I want to thank or congratulate Eric, his staff, and his team for winning not only the tournament championship but the regular season championship. They were the class of the league. They proved that during the regular season, and I guess kind of put an exclamation point on it today. They're a talented team. They present so many problems for you defensively. Mayo is an elite player, not only in our league, I think, but in the country. They have such a formidable front line. They're very hard to guard. They're physically imposing. Mims is a knockdown shooter, and I'll tell you, easily just does everything. Mr. Hustle guy. So they are a very formidable team. We lost to a great basketball team today. I'm really proud of my guys. With the leadership of the two guys sitting next to me, we elevated our program. We continued to make progress this year in many, many ways, and I'm really proud of that. Tommy Bruner had just a special season, and I don't know if it's going to take a little while for people to realize. He was leading the country in scoring, leading the league in assists, elevating our program with his play, and the story with Tommy. I've always said that the story is what he's doing off the basketball court, and by the way, he's leading the country in scoring. So we've had a special relationship. I'm very grateful for all his contributions. And Jackson Brenchley has added so much to our program. If you followed us, you know, I mean, from solid play to experience to savvy to leadership. Our program was in really good hands this year from a leadership standpoint because of these two guys. And they performed very, very well on the basketball court. And as I said, elevated our program, I guess, within a grasp of doing something that we have never done before at the University of Denver.
Thanks, coach. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions for the student athletes.
Tim Hill, Reaching the Summit. Just kind of a question for both of you guys in your final year here. Obviously, a big halftime deficit in this environment. Could have been easy to let it just truly get away, but you two just look like two guys that did not want your careers to end tonight. It just showed some great fight and resiliency. What can you say about each other and this team for how you fought back and really made it a game at the end?
You know, we wanted to just spill it, no matter what the score was. Unfortunately, we got down big, you know, going into halftime. But, you know, our mindset was to fight, you know, up 20, down 20, and give it everything we had, no matter what. And we came a little bit short. But, you know, I think the program is in, you know, excellent hands. You know, I enjoy spending time with, you know, Jackson Brenchley. You know, I don't tell him this, but, you know, I watch him and, you know, he's taught me a lot, you know, how to be a man, you know, his background coming from what he does, treats his wife right. So I learned a ton, you know, just from these two in 1 year. So, you know, I think that this season was a win for us. I think today was a win for us because it brought us closer. And we'll be able to talk about this day for life. Even though we didn't come out successful, you know, we're going to remember a lot more than, you know, just one game. So for me, it was fun playing out there. But, you know, the thing that I'll remember most is, you know, who these guys are as a person.
Yeah, I mean, going off that, I don't know how many people can say they played with the leading scorer in the country, right? So I'll always want to brag about that, playing with dudes like him. You know, he's won us a lot of games. He's got us to this spot, and, you know what I mean? He's last 3 games just toughing it out on a bad ankle. I think it really motivated the rest of us too to to fight and give everything we had. Yeah, I mean, the first half was rough. And I mean, the way I am and the way we are is, we're not going to just lay down with the big crowd and with the great players and the great team they have. So just fighting back and just doing everything we could to bring it closer was what we did. And, we fell short, but, they're a great basketball team. And, I was telling them, each player in the handshake line, like, go get one, like, go upset, like, go represent the Summer League, go get one in the tournament. So I have a lot of respect for those guys, man, like from Mayo to Easley, Mims, Gary, Apple. I mean, look, Kyle, those guys are tough, and I wish them the best of luck.
Todd McCann reaching Summit. If somebody would have told me 3 years ago that Denver would be playing within 2 possessions and going to the NCAA tournament, it would have been kind of a surprise. The program was in rough shape. You two are building blocks towards something very different for that program. What does that mean for the two?
It means a lot. My sister played at South Carolina, and when she was there, they went to the Sweet 16, but they weren't as good as they are now. So I'm just really excited to see, what the future holds for Denver basketball team in the next 4 or 5 years. And, I'll be watching, I'll be supporting Coach. And I know he's going to do a heck of a job to get the next team back here again and again and again and again.
Yeah, I mean, I know we got picked 9th, and that motivated us. And, I came here to win a championship. I didn't come here to just get second. So that was our goal, and hopefully, and I'm excited to be around. And me and Coach Wolfram have a great relationship, so I'm excited to be around the team whenever I'm in Denver or around, and catch their games. And I hope I could be, involved. And so I'm very excited to be around the program moving forward.
Thanks, fellas. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
We'll go ahead with questions for Coach. We'll start in the front row.
Coach, teams in your position where you're really starting to build something, they can oftentimes look back at a couple players to say, those were the foundation guys that really springboarded this program into the future, into, big events like what SDSU is experiencing tonight. These are two guys that I can see, the pride you have in them. What are you going to say about them when you look back to say these are two of the guys that really built the foundation for this program?
Yeah, you're spot on. And, when we decided to build the program, we decided that we were going to lay really strong core values. We were going to recruit young men of high integrity, high character, young men that chased excellence in everything they did, young men who fit the academic mission of the university, a prestigious university that we're all proud of. And these two guys are great reflections. I just told them in the locker room, they not only are great ambassadors for our basketball program, they're great ambassadors for the University of Denver. And we've been fortunate enough that we've been laying a foundation. And, I got a text message from KJ Hunt, if you remember him from a couple years ago, my first point guard here. And I got a text from Lucas Kasunas, our big man transfer from Stanford last year. And I told those guys, you help lay the groundwork, and hopefully we'll continue to improve the program and we'll raise our standards and expectations each year. I will tell you, when I took the job, the fact that the program had been down was very appealing to me. I guess I characterize myself as a builder, as a basketball coach in the places that I've been. We've managed to do things that hadn't been done in a while or hadn't been done at all. And so that was the appeal here at Denver. And then what we did is we turned around, and that's what I communicated to the young men that I recruited in the program. And help me, I said, believe that we could do this. And they did, the two that were here and the young men in the locker room and from the first year. And, we made significant progress from taking over a 2-win team, got to 11 last year, 15. We built on that this year, and we had an opportunity to play for an NCAA bid. So these two guys sure made me proud. I mean, you're right, Tim. I mean, I'm as proud as a dad would be of his two sons.
Coach, just talk a little bit about the adjustments. What do you think the biggest thing was that got you guys back into the game from the first half to the second half,
Yeah.
cutting that lead down to 6?
I thought they physically were the aggressor for the first 20 minutes, without a doubt. I mean, as you looked at the stats at halftime, we only got to the foul line, I think, 3 times. That's always a measure of your aggressiveness and your physicality. We got out rebounded in the first half. We didn't get any 50-50 balls. They were just the aggressor in physically, in their toughness, their physicality, their tenacity, all of the things. And you know, honestly, we're playing in this game tonight because we've demonstrated those things in the past two games this week. And but they were better than us tonight for sure. And, but that's who they are. Those are that's Eric's team.
You're kind of touching on it a little bit here, but what were your thoughts on just defensively? Nobody for them went off, but they had enough balance to sort of carry the day and get past you guys.
Yeah. Their ball screens hurt us. Kyle rolling to the basket, Apel and Kyle backing guys down. And really the physicality really jumped out at me, that we just, we weren't as tough and we weren't as physical as we needed to be in those areas. Add to that their offensive rebounding or defensive rebounding, but they were the aggressor. And finally, once they got a big lead, you know, our team's been very resilient this year. We've come back from some large deficits, whether that's good or bad. But we have a never say die attitude. And gosh, it was a few weeks ago, we came back from 21 down to beat North Dakota State. And the guys just, they don't quit. And they keep their poise and composure. And I think you saw that tonight. But we dug ourselves too big of a hole.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
So for the last press conference of the tournament, we're going to do things a little unorthodox and skip the opening statement. Joining us from South Dakota State University men's basketball program, student athletes Zeke Mayo, William Kyle III, and Luke Apple. And we're just going to go ahead and open up questions for the student athletes right away. Yep, you can start. Third row.
Luke, I asked Matt this earlier, but as one of the elder statesmen on this team, what's it been like to watch Will Kyle kind of grow into the player that he is now and win the Summit League tournament MVP?
I mean, I got to watch it all last year, which is a different perspective. Seeing him, just the growth in year one was really special. He became it just became, his footwork's gotten a lot better. His defense has gotten a lot better. His just timing, his hands, everything. His feel for the game has just gotten better. And then being able to play with him this year is just awesome. He can go block any shot at the rim. You can throw him about any pass and he'll catch it. And it's just something that not a lot of teams have. It's been a great thing, great person to play with.
Luke, what do you think about, you mentioned you didn't play last year in the tournament. SDSU didn't have the performance they wanted to have. What do you say about the fact that you won the title? The three guys sitting up there all had great tournaments, all tournament performances. The big guys delivered in this tournament. I know the whole team had a good performance, but stars have to perform in the big spots.
I wouldn't say it's just us three. The defense, Matt Mins and Charlie easily played. Can't go unnoticed. Same with Kalen Gary. They're flying around. We held the team to 49 points yesterday. We don't do that without them. And everyone made plays on our team. We just so happened to score the most points tonight. It's just a whole team effort. Everyone's bought in and everyone's playing for each other.
Zeke, there was some talk throughout the year about how much parity there was in this conference and that there wasn't a lot of difference between the top of the league and the bottom of the league. And for part of the season, that was true. But in this tournament, you guys looked like you were maybe head and shoulders above everyone else. And you've won 8 games in a row now. What changed? When did you guys become kind of the team that you're playing as right now?
Yeah, I think it just took all of us to buy into what the coaches were trying to, strategize for us. Obviously we struggled defensively early on in our season, but come league play, they had a great game plan for to allow our bigs to help and recover, and a guy like this who can protect the rim for us. We just stayed together all year long. I just can't be more proud of our group. We're going to keep this thing rolling for sure.
Just kind of a question for all three of you. I think really what, kind of play off of what Zim has said, how you guys really elevated to be head and shoulders above everyone was really the development. You three in particular, each individually really improved in a lot of ways. Zeke from, just slowing down your decision making, getting offense to start with these two, playing inside out, scoring when you need to turn it on. Will, just your low post development with your game, being more aggressive on the rebound defense. And then Luke, you've become a distributor, really a point forward really this year. And a lot of times leading the team in assists. Just talk about how that growth as a unit has really come about and how you guys all played off each other to have the success.
It's just another thing of us trusting each other. We believe in each one of our guys on this team who can go out there and make plays, whether that's offensively or defensively. But just having complementary players like these two, and then Charlie and Kalen and Mims. It's just something that you can't teach. As long as we're all bought into the system that the coaches are trying to preach and strategize for us. I feel like we can beat anybody in the country, and we're going to continue to play together. And we're really looking forward to the NCAA tournament.
A little bit touch off what Zeke said. Just trusting in each other, and I feel like it showed like with how we played. I feel like we played really, really unselfish. Luke had 10 points, 6 assists last night. He was, like you said, a facilitator. I feel like we trust in each other in a way that Luke can go and do that versus maybe not see that with other teams. And I feel like by us playing together and just trusting in each other, it led to the success today.
Yeah.
William, this is for you. As a sophomore, clearly this is, early on in your career, this is a win for you. what does this mean? You had bounce in your knees throughout the entire game. You were playing defense really well. Can you talk about what this means for you early on?
I feel like this means a lot to me. So it was what I dreamed of, and just to do it, it shows that if I keep this work ethic, I can just keep getting better. And I feel like it just it's almost like a moment. It's like an aha moment. I could really do it. And it's like if you would have told me that I would do any of this a few years ago, even I would have thought you were crazy, But I wouldn't have been able to do it without these guys next to me and these guys in the locker room as well, and the coaching staff, and there's everybody in Brookings and the support system I have with my family. And I'm just really really thankful, and I feel like this just means a lot to me. And yeah.
Zeke, is it a different feeling winning the championship this year than it did 2 years ago? You guys had the perfect season in conference play that year, and this year there were a lot of up and downs, but you guys, kind of got it going there towards the end of the season, and now have won 8 straight.
Yeah, it's definitely a different championship. Like I've told other reporters, this league was up for grabs, arguably the entire regular season. So we finished it strong, and then just to come out here and take. We took it one step at a time. We completed a three-step process. And just to be a part of something like this, a team that has struggled, in the past, and we turned it around at the right time, it feels so good just to be a part of something like that. And we're going to continue to do what we do.
First off, congratulations, gentlemen, on the victory. Zeke, Kalen Gary came out and scored 11 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds tonight. How much does that benefit for you as a guard, but also from a team's perspective, to have someone come off the bench like that and be such a factor?
It just shows the talent that we have on this team, and the ability of each guy that we throw out there. Kalen is young, obviously a freshman, redshirt freshman, but I've seen it before in practice. Even though he didn't play last year, it was like, okay, this guy's gonna be good. It was just he's one of those players, and he's gritty for us. He plays physical. It's no surprise to, I think, any of us. But just like everybody else, we believe in their capabilities. He's a dog.
Zeke, after the game, I saw you run over to the crowd and share a moment. I think it was with your family. Not sure, you can correct me, but just how special was it to share that moment with them, and just describe how you felt to make it to the NCAA tournament again?
Yeah, that was my family, and it was just a special moment because they've seen me at my worst and they've seen me at my best. This year was obviously, hard on all of us individually. We were losing, and it kind of took a mental toll on a few of us. And just to be here in this moment, and I told my family, I was gonna get emotional, just thinking about winning this championship. But they've been with me every step of the way, so it feels so good for them to be able to be here and see this moment.
We'll go last question with Matt over here.
To any of you guys want to take it, but you look at this year, your football team won the national championship. Then today, your women punched your ticket to the NCAA tournament. Now here you guys are doing it. That's pretty amazing what's been accomplished in this program just in the last 3 months. I've seen you guys at football games, at women's basketball games, so I know that means something to you. What's it like to kind of be a part of a program that's experiencing all this kind of success at the same time?
It's a special place. Our football team's won back-to-back national championships. Our girls have won 48 straight summer league games. And we won the league this year, and we get second last year. And we won it the year before. So South Dakota State has an unbelievable standard that you come in, like when I came in, it is the standard, and you have to meet that standard. And it goes to speak for our trainers, our strength coaches, and our coach and our actual coaches. Just the standard that's set and the expectation. There's nothing like it, and it's around the whole campus. So you meet other athletes, and they're winners too. So everybody, you're surrounded by winners, and it's contagious.
Thanks, fellas. You can head up.
Thank you, guys.
It's always tough to get out of here, man.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
All right, joining us now is men's head basketball coach Eric Henderson. We will go back traditional with him and have him do an opening statement quick, and then we'll turn it over for questions.
Wow, what a feeling. We've got incredible players. I'm so proud of our guys, and as an educator and a teacher, I mean, there's really nothing better than watching young people grow and believe in each other, and then get rewarded for it. And that's, man, I'll tell you what, I'm just so proud of them and how they responded. It's pretty special.
We'll start row 2 and then go row 4.
But you've used the word connectivity a lot over the last 5 years. What's it been like the last 2 or 3 weeks watching this team come together and win 8 straight and now go to the NCAA tournament?
I mean, connectivity is a huge word. I mean, I know this. I wasn't a very good player, right? And so if I wanted to be successful, I had to try to get the best out of others too, right? And that's the way I feel about everybody. You don't want to do nothing alone. You want to have some buddies along for the ride. And when you can be connected and celebrate each other and build those relationships, that connectivity was a huge piece of how we were able to continue to grow.
Coach, taking it back to yesterday when Luke brought up the defensive rating that you brought up to them that helped them get better on defense. Can you talk about how over the last 8 games your team has really come together and even stopped Tommy Bruner, who's like the top scorer for Denver?
Yeah, I mean, you saw that was first 32 minutes. I thought our defense was unbelievable. I thought, we were helping each other out. We were rotating. We had great energy. We were locked in. Lost a little bit of that, but down the stretch. But I'll tell you, we did tweak a few things. I mean, and we decided that we needed to change a few things, and I just didn't probably do a good enough job of putting our guys in a position to be successful. And as we continued to watch and learn about our team, we decided to make a few changes, and so we talked to our guys about it. But they are the ones that have to buy in, right? They're the ones that have to say, okay, let's make this happen. And there was never even a doubt. They were like, okay. And it's where we're at.
Eric Bean, Yankton, Preston, Dakota. Coach, Kalen Gary was like plus 29 or 26 coming into this game, was like plus 15 tonight. Just how infectious has his energy been on the court?
I mean, he's a warrior, and I use that word for Charlie. And we got a lot of warriors, don't get it twisted now. But Kalen's, he loves the moment. He's such a competitor. You can tell sometimes he almost is an angry competitor. And it's like, come on, bro, let's enjoy this now too. But it was, I'll just say this, because I think Charlie is pretty tough, right? It's pretty nice when Charlie goes down. You feel comfortable that you have another tough dude going in.
Coach, probably midway through the conference season, around that time when ORU came to town, you guys seemed to be in a little bit of a funk. Something just was not right, even though you were still playing good, very talented, no denying that. But then after that, something just clicked with this group, kind of going to the connectivity aspect. And these guys just seemed to play with a lot of joy out on that court. And it, rolled over into their play. And I think that's when the defense really started to turn up when, they play for each other. Just is very infectious. Was there something that was said in the locker room from the players or anything you noticed specifically that really, turned it on at that point?
Well, losing's not fun, right? And I mean, it really kind of started with that North Dakota State game where we got beat at the buzzer, right? The tip in, and our locker room wasn't probably in a great spot. It's not that we were bad, but not a great spot. And offensively, we talked about we needed a little bit more ball movement, a little bit more player movement. And when you do that, it creates energy. And I think everybody felt more involved. And when you have those feelings, I think the joy is maybe even a little higher.
First of all, how's Charlie?
He'll be ready to go. Yeah, he'll be fine. He sprained it pretty good now. Don't get it twisted. But fortunately, our tournament's early enough that he'll have a little time to rest. And I think it'd take a lot to keep that dude out.
There was a screenshot. It didn't look very good.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
But I wanted to ask you, last year's tournament, Zeke and Will both struggled. They did not play well last tournament. And we asked them a little bit about it, if that was a motivator coming in. I mean, they were the two MVPs of this tournament. They both were outstanding for 3 straight games. How big a role did that play in the difference between last year and this year?
Yeah, I mean, it was, there's no denying that. I think we were all a little bit disappointed with how last year finished, right? And I'm not just saying those two guys. I know they probably didn't play as well as they wanted, or I wanted it either, but I'm saying in particular for our team. And so we used it as motivation, and I know those two guys have a lot of pride as well, and so they were excited to give her another go. I know that.
We'll go last question back here.
Coach, can you talk about William and the fact that he's a sophomore MVP and, 5 dunks? Can you just talk about how he's grown and what this means for him going forward?
Yeah, a lot of different ways to answer that question, to be frank. But Will, and I don't mean that in a bad way either. I don't know why I even said that, but Will has grown in so many ways. Obviously, he's always been an incredible athlete, right? Incredible. But he doesn't get enough credit for his skill. He's a great passer. He obviously finishes with great enthusiasm. He's super efficient down there. He's rebounded so much better this year. The amount of maturity that he has shown, and he's communicating more. He's gaining confidence. Like, the sky's the limit for that dude. I love that kid.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it. You guys take care. Thanks for all that you do. We really do appreciate that too.